So good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Greater Arlington Chamber of Commerce Candidate Forum for 2022. This is for the upcoming November election. Today, we are focusing on the two candidate positions for Tarrant County Judge, as well as Tarrant County Commissioner Precinct 2. We are very excited to bring this to you today so you can better get to know our candidates. But to kick us off, I'm going to introduce the President and CEO of the Greater Arlington Chamber of Commerce, Mr. Michael Jacobson.
Good morning. We appreciate everybody being here. Let me thank our candidates. We appreciate the sacrifice that candidates make to run for office and to lead our county. It is greatly appreciated. We have some great questions this morning. They're designed to help us get to know our candidates. So this is a Meet the Candidate forum. It's not a tell us about your opponent forum. So we look forward to y'all answering, our candidates answering the questions and helping define who they are and where they stand on some issues that we think are important to the business community. Thank y'all to the candidates again for being here. We appreciate you very much, and to everybody else that's online listening. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that message this morning, Michael. We are very excited to have all four candidates with us today. So just to give us a rundown of how this forum is set up, I'd like to introduce the Greater Arlington Chamber of Commerce Senior Public Policy Advisor. Please welcome Rebecca Montgomery.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much, Britton. We welcome you to our forum. It's that time of the season, election season, everybody. Remember, it's your time to make your call, your opportunity for your voice to be heard. Early voting begins October 24th, and Election Day is November the 8th. Members of our audience, we are thrilled to provide this opportunity to you to learn more about each candidate. To our candidates, we're delighted to have you to provide this opportunity for each of you to know and introduce yourself to our chamber. We look forward to hearing from you and how you're going to bring about positive changes to improve our communities. Each of you will have 3 minutes for an opening statement and 9 minutes to answer 6 questions. All questions will be asked in a random order that is determined through a drawing live during the forum. No question shall be skipped, and the questions have been previously shared to each candidate. We will start with our 2 judge candidates in alpha order, then we will move to the Commissioner Precinct 2 candidates, again in alpha order. We ask that you adhere to this time frame in order for everyone to have the opportunity to participate and to maintain our tight schedule. As we previously shared, this is a forum, not a debate. Please address the audience, not one another. We would like to know you and your positions regarding areas of importance to our community. Thank you. Thank you, Britton.
Thank you so much, Rebecca, for going over the forum. We appreciate you significantly. Now, without further ado, we are going to kick off this forum. So as Rebecca stated, we are starting with our judge candidate. Oh, sorry. I apologize. We are starting with our judge candidates. So first and foremost, Tim, I am going to bring you up. So you are going to get a notification that you've been promoted to panelist, and we are going to introduce you today. So Tim, when you can, please turn on your audio and video.
All right, I've unmuted, so I think we're good there. And there we go.
Well, good morning, Tim.
Good morning.
Thank you so much for joining us. So I'm going to start my timer in about 4 seconds, but please begin with your 3-minute opening statement now.
Well, sure. Thank you to the Arlington Chamber of Commerce for doing this forum. And please forgive me as I figure out how to do Zoom. I keep wanting to look at you and look at the camera, so I may bounce around. Thank you for having us. Thanks for giving us this opportunity. Let me start with just by telling you who I am, a little bit about me so people will know. I was born and raised in Farmers Branch, essentially by a single mother. It was me and my brother. My mom and dad got divorced when I was about 5 months old. We came home to a 900 square foot house and grew up and didn't have a lot of money, but had a great upbringing, a great childhood, a wonderful family. My mom taught me about God, taught me about family, taught me about country, and taught me about education. And that has in large part defined who I am today. I went to the University of Texas at Austin and got a BBA in finance. I got a law degree from SMU. And I've started 2 successful companies, one a law firm where I was the managing attorney for over 21 years, and then also a real estate investment company. So as a small business owner, I think I relate a lot to people here in the Arlington Chamber. I got married pretty late in life. I was 39 when I got married. My wife, Kristen, is just the most amazing person I've ever met. She's the rock of our family. And we have 4 kids, 4 daughters. So pray for us. My daughter, Katie, is our oldest. She's 11. Emily is 10. Juliana is the third one. She's 8. And our baby, who just started kindergarten 3 weeks ago, is 5 years old. We're members of First Baptist Grapevine, where I'm a deacon, and Chris and I have served in the children's ministry for about 12 years or so. And we live in Southlake. And here's why I'm running, and then I'll close with this and then take the question. So I'm running because I believe Tarrant County needs a reliable, disciplined leader, and I've been in leadership literally my entire life. I'm running because I think we need to cut our property taxes. I think they're too high. I think the statistics show that, and people need tax relief. I'm running to fully fund law enforcement and our district attorney's office to make sure that we do our part in county government to keep people safe. I am running to eliminate waste and fraud and abuse and watch your tax dollars the way they deserve to be watched. I'm running to bring more transparency to local government and to put in place a stronger ethics policy. I'm running to grow our economy with high quality jobs and high quality companies. I'm a firm believer in a rising tide lifts all boats. And the more jobs we have and the better jobs we have, the better it is for everybody. And then last, while not necessarily in the purview of county judge, I am running to be a voice for parents and their children's education and a voice to the whole community about how important education is. Education lifts people out of poverty. Education is the key to economic success. And I attribute what success I've had in large part to the education that I've received.
Awesome. My timer just went off, so you wrapped it up right on time. Tim, we are so excited that you are here with us today. Thank you for that opening statement. I am going to shake this mug and see what order you get your questions in. So you have 1, 5, 2, 4, 3, 6. Okay, so we are going to start with question 1. The current judge, Glenn Whitley, is retiring after 20 years of service. Coming in as the next judge of Tarrant County, what is your #1 priority?
And I think people know we got the questions in advance, and so we had a chance to look at it and think about it. That's a popular question. I wouldn't say I have this is #1. I would say there's probably the 3 top priorities are lower property taxes. Depending on how you measure it, Tarrant County has the 5th or 6th highest county property tax rate in the state. The state of Texas also allows up to a 20% homestead exemption to be offered by the county government. Tarrant County currently offers 0. I'm running to be supportive of law enforcement and to be strong on crime. Crime rates are on the rise. Violent crime is on the rise. Drug trafficking and sex trafficking is on the rise. Just last week, over 1 million doses of fentanyl, fatal doses of fentanyl, were confiscated in Tarrant County. I think this year alone, over 500 people have been rescued from sex trafficking, including a 4-year-old. So I'm running to be strong on law and order to make sure people are safe. And then I'm running to be a pro-growth, pro-business person. And that's something that I did when I was a mayor previously. I want to make sure we get high quality jobs in here and high quality companies. And quite frankly, Tarrant County's underperformed in that arena. And I think we can do better to bring more high quality companies in and help more companies to expand in our county.
Well, thank you for that answer. Your next question is #5, which I applaud your team. They actually caught a typo on my questions that I sent out. So Tarrant County has a higher population than 12 US states with over 2 million residents. As head of the county, the judge is responsible for disaster declarations and leading during a crisis. Give us some insight into your leadership style and how you plan to lead the 3rd most populous county in the state of Texas.
Yeah, I think Tarrant County is growing by leaps and bounds. I think we're up to 2.2 million people. So leadership, this is my leadership style. The best leaders spend more time listening than talking. The best leaders are not afraid to surround themselves with people who are smarter than they are. The best leaders don't have to walk into a room and act like they're the smartest person in the room. The best leaders, before they make serious decisions, or any decisions really, do their due diligence, do their research, make sure they understand what they're up against, what they're dealing with. And you do that by speaking to experts in whatever field you're dealing with. You know, county judge job, it's remarkable all that it touches and all the areas that you have to have knowledge in. So my leadership style is one of collaboration. Anyone that I've ever worked with would tell you that he's a very easy guy to work with. When I was a mayor, I had 5 council members. All 5 of them wanted me to run again for mayor. All 5 of them endorsed me in this race. So, and you get buy-in. And then I think the other thing is I really do not, this sounds good, but it's true. I don't care if I get credit for accomplishments. What I give credit to others. I don't care who gets the credit. I don't care if I get the credit. I want to praise other people. And if you praise them publicly, it lifts their spirits. And especially if you're in a position like county judge, when you can hand out praise and speak well of people to others, I mean, it just builds their confidence. I want to build the confidence of everyone around me. That's what I've done in the companies I've worked for. And I think ultimately, the other thing a leader does is a leader sets a vision and puts the people in place to carry out that vision. And my vision is one where Tarrant County is the absolute best place to live and work and raise a family. And we continue this really unique thing we have in a county. We're different than other counties. And I came from another county. I can tell you Tarrant County is very special and we want to keep that character.
Well, thank you so much for that answer. Your next question is question number 2, which is Tarrant County has focused millions of dollars on small businesses specifically to help those recover from the impact of the pandemic. In your opinion, how important is the cultivation and success of small businesses in Tarrant County? And if elected judge, how will you focus resources on this effort?
Yeah, well, it's incredibly important. As a small business owner, I know what starting our company meant for the people that work for us. I mean, we help them feed their families. We help them move up in their careers and buy homes and live the American dream. So small businesses, that's the #1 source of employment in America. Small businesses are the lifeblood of a community. But on a global scale, jobs are important to a county, to a city, and having a job, having the dignity of a job, having a job where you can grow in your career and provide for your family. I mean, that is the key, along with education, to lifting people out of poverty. As I mentioned in the opening statement, I mean, my mom made $1,200 a month when I was growing up. I remember when she went to $1,500. It was like we were rich all of a sudden. But through hard work, through taking risk, she started a business, built it, and she was able to help me go through college. So we will always have a pro-business environment. If I'm county judge, we will promote our businesses. And half of the battle is showing up and asking people to come to your county. And the business community, what I've done, I've reached out to the business community. I've gone to everyone I can find. I mean, I'm supported by Ross Perot and Mike Berry, and I can go through the list. But I've told them, anytime you want me there in a meeting with a CEO of a company or a corporate relocator, pitching how great Tarrant County is, I'll be the best salesman for Tarrant County you'll ever find. But make no mistake, small business as a small business owner is huge to the success. And we have to foster an environment where we're pro-business, small business, large business. And what you'll never hear from me, you'll never hear me say, we created jobs, unless they're actual government jobs. We want to foster an environment where the job creators, the entrepreneurs, the risk takers, the companies create jobs.
Well, thank you so much for that answer, Tim. So we are going to move now to question number 4. Tarrant County and specifically Arlington are home to hundreds of distribution centers for national brands. The DFW Arlington metropolitan area is one of the largest logistics hubs in the country. As judge, you'll be responsible for budgets that oversee infrastructure improvements and development. How will you ensure our continued success as a logistics hub?
Yeah, we can make that a really short answer, a long answer, but it's build roads and maintain the ones we have. That's the biggest piece. And most people here, I'm sure in the chamber, know that the county government plays a major role in roads, transportation. We want transportation to be smooth here. We want to increase mobility. We will work with the Regional Transportation Commission and the state to, people like to say, to get our fair share of roads. Well, I'd like to get more than our fair share of roads. And so we'll work with them to make sure that we deal with what is going to be an ever-growing county where we still have a lot of room to grow. The other thing is what I've mentioned already, and it's having that pro-business environment. You know, you kind of have this thing going on a little bit in society where people are demonizing businesses and demonizing corporations. These are the folks that create the jobs, take the risk, and help so many people provide for their family. So we're going to always be pro-business, and we're going to promote business. We're going to encourage business, and having that, just being willing to go where you have to go to recruit people to Tarrant County, to go to the governor's office, to go to lieutenant governor's office, to go to our legislators and say, hey, we need more road money here in Tarrant County, or go to a company and say, come expand here. We want you. That is the style that I will bring. And I think that will not only help with our logistics, but also help with our business climate altogether. We haven't done as well in Tarrant County as some of our neighboring counties when it comes to bringing new businesses in and seeing them expand. So we're going to work to be better at that and help lead the way in Tarrant County. You okay there?
So sorry. I had to
It's
cough.
okay.
Whoa, guys, I had to cough. Sorry. Tim, thank you so much. Whoa. I'm going to mute my video or my audio one more. Man, we know that little sinus thing is going around, everybody.
I just hope it wasn't my answer that got you there. So
all the tears for you, Tim. All the tears. No, thank you so much. Your time just hit. So it has been lovely to see you today and hear from you. You did a fantastic job. Again, thank you for being here and giving us your time. We truly, truly appreciate you. And I hope you have a lovely rest of your day. Thank you, Tim.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Woo, everybody, I am so sorry about that. I apologize. I thought I took enough medicine this morning, but we love to make it fun here on the chamber and just jazz everything up with chaos. So, woo, we are moving to our second candidate for county judge today. So thank you to Tim O'Hare. Now, I did want to clarify that we did this in order that they appear on the ballot. So Tim is first on the ballot and then Deborah Peoples will be second. So please welcome our second candidate for county judge, Miss Deborah Peoples. Deborah, I am going to promote you to panelist now. And again, I apologize, everyone. So as Deborah gets all set up here, we will welcome her. So we are excited again to have all of you here with us. And Deborah, when you are available, we will kick your video on, or please turn it on for us.
Okay, there I am. Well, Britton, I hope you feel better. So that's first. But let me start on my 3 minutes. And I just want to thank Michael. I want to thank Rebecca. I want to thank the Chamber for making this possible. But I will start by telling you that almost 3 years ago, some of us didn't know what Zoom was because none of us knew what lay in front of us. In December of 2019, believe it or not, we began to hear this strange virus that killed over 1.7 million people worldwide. But in Tarrant County, we survived and we are thriving because we had leadership that worked together across the aisle to mitigate many of the challenges. We had leadership that worked together across municipal lines and party lines and religious lines and racial lines and all kinds of lines to focus on the 2.1 million residents and the 41 cities here in Tarrant County. They never lost sight of keeping our families and our residents safe, but they also never lost sight of keeping the economic engine going. That's the Tarrant County that I love, and that's the Tarrant County that I want to represent. I spent almost 3 decades, 3.5 decades in corporate America, and I know that we are better together than we are when we're apart. I know that businesses drive this country. We have to provide a thriving business environment, but we also have to take care of the people who take those jobs. So I have lived in Tarrant County for many, many years, loved it, moved away. And when I retired, knew that this is where I wanted to plant my flag and spend the rest of my life. So it is a thriving community. I have visited with many of you. I intend to continue to work with you. And I think we'll talk more about it as I answer the questions.
Oh, you still have a minute if you'd like to use it. I just
Okay.
turned my
No,
video back on.
listen, I have visited with many members of the chamber and will be visiting with many. So many of you all have heard my story. You knew I grew up in West Texas. I'm a West Texas gal. I grew up around oil and industry there and refineries. So I know about how we get engines going to move the country. And so I'll talk more about me as we go through the questions.
Well, thank you so much for being here, Deborah. We appreciate it. So I'm going to cancel this timer for your 3 minutes, and I'm gonna take this mug and let's see what order you get. We have 1, 2, 5, 3, 4, 6.
Okay.
Okay, so question number 1, that's easy. We got 1 and 2 on this one. Let me go to my 9-minute timer over here and hit start. The current judge, Glenn Whitley, is retiring after 20 years of service. Coming in as the next judge of Tarrant County, what is your number 1 priority?
Oh, wow. So do I get to give 1 and then A, B, C, and D? Because 1A has to be economic development. It has to be continuing what we are doing to create jobs. And coming from a corporate environment, I know how critical jobs are to the community. And so I think in talking with all of you all, I tell you that's always my number 1 priority. But the second priority I have is around health. And I'm going to talk a lot about physical health and mental health. I know one of the questions that you have is around John Peter Smith Hospital. I am a huge advocate for that, the hospital, because I think the public hospital works with private hospitals to create an environment where we are healthy and people want to move here. The third thing I talk about a lot is infrastructure. And infrastructure is not just roads and bridges. Infrastructure means things like internet access and expanding that around the county. So I think infrastructure is really important. And the fourth thing, 1D, has to be education. We got to prepare people to take these jobs. We got to get businesses to move here with well-paying jobs. But if we're not educating our students and giving them the skill sets to do these jobs, we are setting ourselves up for failure.
Well, thank you for that answer. We appreciate it. We are going to move to question 2 now, your second one, which is Tarrant County has focused millions of dollars on small businesses specifically to help those recover from the impact of the pandemic. In your opinion, how important is the cultivation and success of small businesses in Tarrant County? And if elected judge, how will you focus resources on this effort?
Okay, so I told you I grew up in Odessa, Texas, so you're going to learn more about me. We didn't have big corporations moving to Odessa, Texas. We had small mom and pop operations there. I know that small businesses are the lifeblood of any community. They do, you know, while I worked for AT&T and supervised over 5,000 employees, I knew it was the small mom and pops that I went to when I visited all those locations in the 22 states that kept it going. It was the small tailor, the small cleaners, the small surveyor, those kinds of things. And so I think what the county has done, and we have to continue to do, is build these public-private partnerships to work on things for small businesses. But also we used a lot, the county, if you has looked, has used some of the ARPA money. There is money at their disposal to be able to help small business. So I want to continue to do that. We need incubators to help. I know that Arlington is doing some nice things with small businesses, as are many other cities. And I want to be a part of that, because that's the future of Tarrant County, is inviting large companies here, but also growing small businesses. So you get this double whammy. You get the big companies and then you get the small engines.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for that answer, Deborah. Now we are going to move to question number, question number 5, sorry. Question number 5 is, Tarrant County has a higher population than 12 US states with more than 2 million residents. As head of the county, the judge is responsible for disaster declarations and leading during a crisis. Give us some insight into your leadership style and how you plan on leading the 3rd most populous county in Texas.
So I got a lot of experience. I told you 5,000 employees across 22 states, lots of different cultures, lots of different attitudes. But I'm one of these folks that leads by, I don't ask anybody to do anything I wouldn't be willing to do myself. I believe in empowering people, but I also know that people have to know that the buck stops with me. So for those of you who work outside, I've been up in bucket trucks, down in vaults, crawling under crawl spaces. I believe that people have to know that I'm willing to get in there and work with them and get my hands dirty. And so I do a lot of collaboration. I work with people. I believe in empowering people, but I also, like Tim, believe in surrounding myself with experts. I love how Judge Whitley and the team did this last time when COVID came out. They came and did publicly, took their vaccinations on TV and in the media, because what they were doing was giving an example to the citizens of Tarrant County that we needed to all be safe, that they wanted to keep us safe, and that they were willing to show that commitment by taking that vaccine. That's the kind of leader I am. You're not going to see me shying away from things or not being out with the people and participating.
Thank you so much for that answer, Deborah. Okay, we are going to move to your next question, which is number 3. After surveying our investor level chamber membership on the upcoming Texas legislative session, their top focus was on education and workforce. As judge, how do you see your role in ensuring our county has the labor force it needs to meet our ever-growing economy?
So I think, you know, in my first answer, that was, while education is not under the purview of the judge, it is under the purview of the judge. We have to have an educated workforce. We have to have a skilled workforce. So I have already started talking to superintendents, just like I've been talking to mayors. I have been visiting with mayors and superintendents. The county judge needs to work across the multiplicity of school districts and school governments we have to come up with a common vision on what we need. We need to talk to businesses about what is the skill set that they need. And then our curriculums need to measure that. So I will tell you, you know, when I went to school many years ago, I still go to school, but I believe we learned not only reading, writing, and arithmetic, but we learned critical thinking. We have to raise critical thinkers who know how to do these jobs, who can understand the concepts of the jobs that are coming, the new jobs. Many of them are coming over the internet. We have to know, we got to raise good plumbers, electricians, and I just know how critical education is. I'm going to work with superintendents, mayors around this county to get our voices heard. And then if we need to go to Austin to demand good education for our students, I'm going to do that.
Well, thank you so much, Deborah. We are going to move to your next question, which is number 4.
Okay.
So Tarrant County and specifically Arlington are home to hundreds of distribution centers for national brands. The DFW Arlington Metro is also one of the largest logistics hubs in the country. As judge, you'll be responsible for budgets that oversee infrastructure improvements. How will you ensure our continued success as a logistics hub?
So I think I talked about number 3 was infrastructure. And so I believe, and so I am so excited about Arlington, but I also know that we've got 40 other cities in Tarrant County that we have to be able to connect to so that we can thrive. We also are part of a huge hub in the North Texas region. And so we have to be working not only with cities in the county, but we have to be working across the region to ensure that we are doing things. So I tell everybody, it's not just roads and bridges, okay? It's planes, trains, automobiles, it's mass transportation, it is data, it is moving all those things. And so we have to have a leader that not only understands that understands how critical this is, but is able to collaborate, work across lines, and to bring our vision for this whole region to fruition. And I'm the person to do that.
Well, thank you, Deborah. You have 48 seconds left. So I'm going to ask you this last question and just give us one sentence, okay?
Okay.
One of our core assets of Tarrant County is JPS Hospital, ranked number 1 by Washington Monthly Magazine. I'm going to skip some stuff so we can get the question. As judge, what's the goal to ensure JPS provides the best service to our residents of Tarrant County?
Oh, wow. I'm already working on that. So JPS is critical. It is a teaching hospital, produces more doctors in this area than any hospital. We've got to make sure that the bond program that citizens voted on and asked us to get done gets implemented. There are things in the bond program that reach out all over Tarrant County. We have to bring that to all over Tarrant County. And then we have to continue to work with private hospitals to make sure that we are taking care of all of our residents and keeping them healthy so they can take these jobs that we're going to bring here.
Got it right in there, Deborah. Well, thank you so much for joining today. We appreciate it. Again, Deborah will appear second on the ballot in November on Election Day for Tarrant County Judge. We appreciate you being here, and I hope you have a lovely rest of your day.
Well, thank you. And tell Tim, I raised two girls, two amazing girls, so I don't envy him what's going to happen with these four, but they'll be great.
4 girls, I know, it's a lot. Well, thank you so much, Deborah. I am going to send you back down to attendee. Okay. So with that said, we have completed the forum in terms of Tarrant County Judge, and we are going to transition now over to Tarrant County Commissioner Precinct 2, which is specifically, they actually are located across the street here in Arlington from the chamber. We see them frequently, and we are excited to have our 2 candidates here that are running for Tarrant County Commissioner Precinct 2. They will appear in the ballot on this order: Andy Wynn and then Alyssa Simmons. So we are going to start in order of the ballot. So Andy, I am going to promote you up to panelist. Good morning, Andy.
Well, thank you for the promotion. I appreciate it.
Okay, Andy, I'm going to set this timer for 3 minutes for you to give us your opening statement.
Ready?
Ready.
Well, good morning. My name is Andy Wynn. I'm a candidate for Tarrant County Commissioner of Precinct 2. I am a former political refugee from Vietnam, an Army veteran, a small business owner, an entrepreneur, and a servant leader. I have been married to my wonderful wife, Julie, for 27 years. She is my best friend and partner in everything I do. We have 3 children, and the greater Arlington area is our home. I'm running because I'm passionate about public service and want to give back to the community and country that have given me so much, including a second chance at life. I'm running because I believe that my background, skill set, leadership qualities, and experience make me uniquely qualified to make an impactful difference for the Precinct 2 communities and families. Finally, I'm running because, like you, this is my home. This is where I raise my family, educate my children, and operate my business. I want to be sure that the future of Tarrant County is strong and bright. As your county commissioner, I will focus on what matters most to you: low taxes, safe neighborhood, better infrastructure, good jobs, and active representation. I will also collaborate with other agencies to strengthen our mental and behavioral health programs and improve Tarrant County safety net services. As a former refugee, I know that in the long run, a hand up is better than a handout. When elected, I will work to instill this principle in every program at Tarrant County. I have served as your county commissioner for 8 years, and my service has borne many fruits for you and your communities. From the open book policy at Tarrant County government to the construction of multiple roadways and highways throughout Precinct 2, the best predictor of the future is the past performance. With me, you can rest assured that you will have a county commissioner who will have your best interest at heart and can and will produce the outcome that you want. Vote for me in November, and together we will make Tarrant County government work for you and our families. Thank you.
And thank you, Andy. What a wonderful opening statement. So I'm going to cancel this timer, and I'm going to go to 9 minutes, and let us see what order your questions are going to be in. You have 615-324. You ready? Okay, question number 6, starting now. It is a priority of the chamber to ensure local businesses and organizations can connect with those that represent them. If elected Precinct 2 Commissioner, how will you engage with chamber members and organizations to lead the change in this community?
Well, Britton, you know I have been involved with the Arlington Chamber of Commerce for over 20 years. Currently, I'm a member of the Arlington Chamber, Mansfield, and Grand Prairie Chamber. Even when I did not serve as a county commissioner, I was still involved with the chamber. Why? Because I believe in connecting with other leaders so together we can make a difference. So when elected as county commissioner, I will continue that trend of serving, of involving with the chambers and working and listening to the leaders of Arlington to identify the challenges as well as the opportunities so we can collectively working together to solve our problems and pursue those opportunities. In the past, I have participated in activities like coffee with the county commissioner, and I will certainly continue to do that. So you can bank on me to continue my involvement. The only challenge is you won't be able to get rid of me, even if you wanted to.
Oh, Andy. Thank you for that. Your next question is question number 1. I would like to add one tidbit. I'll pause the timer. The county coffee with the commissioner is something we do no matter who the commissioner is. We appreciate that Andy did that with us, and we will continue that with whomever our elected official is. So thank you, Andy, for that in the past. Restarting timer. Okay, question number 1. Precinct 2 represents all of Southeast Tarrant County. Coming in as Precinct 2 Commissioner, what is your number 1 priority?
You know, I get that question a lot. I'll answer it this way. There are 3 priorities that are mutually connected to one another. And you have to implement all 3 priorities in order to solve the challenges that we are facing. Number 1, violent crimes, including juvenile violent crimes, are rising. And fentanyl poisoning is killing our young adults. So essentially what we have to do is we have to invest more resources to support our law enforcement to combat crimes. But to do that, that means you have to inject more money into county government. At the same time, people are tired of paying high property taxes, okay? So we gotta find a way to lower our taxes. That means we have to streamline county government. We have to identify opportunities to cut our wasteful spending. And then we can channelize the saved money toward basically law enforcement and fighting crime. And third, we have to build and expand our tax base through economic development, through infrastructure expansion and improvement. Because when we do that, we will basically bring in additional businesses to help offset the additional cost to operate county government. And therefore, it essentially expand the tax base for Tarrant County. So to answer your question, Britton, there are 3 priorities that have to work together to solve the challenges that we are facing in Tarrant County.
Thank you for that, Andy. Okay, we're going to move to your next question, which is number 5. So Tarrant County has a higher population than 12 US states with over 2 million residents. Give us some insight into your leadership style and how you plan on representing the interest of Precinct 2 in Commissioner's Court.
I'm a servant leader. I listen to people, I include people in the decision-making process. As your county commissioner, and as I have done in the past, I will actively represent the people. I will regularly hold town halls. I had an open policy, and I will continue to have an open door policy where people can contact me. And I set a goal to return phone calls within 24 hours. So I will listen to the needs of the people, and I will identify solutions that I can bring to the commissioner's court to solve those issues. Secondly, a leader has to work with others, other court members, other county leaders, other municipal leaders, and school leaders. Therefore, a county commissioner needs to be able to give credit to others and not be so egotistically driven. I think it's very critical that you have a collaborator in a county commissioner, and I have done that in the past. With me, I have a track record that you can see and that you can count upon. So through my leadership, you can rest assured that outcomes will be produced for the communities that we serve. Thank you.
Thank you, Andy. Okay, we are moving to your next question, which is number 3. After surveying investor level chamber membership on the upcoming legislative session, their top focus was on education and workforce. Residents of Tarrant County have tremendous resources like Workforce Solutions for Tarrant County and Tarrant County College District available to them. As commissioner, how will you communicate these resources to your constituents and ensure entrepreneurs and small business owners know how to utilize these services?
That's a great question. Small business owners have 10,000 things to do. Making payroll, being a janitor, whatever it takes, small business owner has to deal with that. How do I know that? Because I am one of them, and I was one of them as well. Essentially, what we got to do, we got to work with all resources like UTA, Tarrant County College, the chambers, the small business development centers, and nonprofit organizations like schools. And we got to bring these, make these resources accessible to the small business owners. As a county commissioner, I have a team of outreach, community outreach. I will make it our focus to assure that we bring these resources to the small business owners and make it relevant to them. Okay, I will meet with the small business owners on a regular basis, individually and through activities at the chamber, to understand their most pressing concerns. And then I will work with the resources available in Tarrant County to help them deal with those challenges. So those are some of the things that I have done in the past, and I will continue to do. Thank you.
Thank you, Andy. This next question, it happened to work out. Question number 2 for you is very similar. So you can continue on that train, which is Tarrant County has focused millions of dollars in small businesses specifically to recover from the pandemic. In your opinion, how important is it to cultivate the success of small businesses in the greater Arlington area? And if elected commissioner, how will you continue to focus these resources?
Well, it's extremely important. Small businesses, like I mentioned earlier, have a lot of challenges already. So government has to cultivate a friendly environment to help small businesses grow. Environment, what do I mean by that? Well, it has to be safe. If small business owners have to worry about the safety and the security of their employees, that's not going to work for them. We have to keep taxes low and keep our regulations low. We have to advocate for state and federal government, including local government, to keep regulations as least burdensome as possible for the small businesses. And I would even go further, is to identify areas like East Arlington along the Pioneer Parkway in Arkansas. That is an ongoing initiative there called International Corridor. It is an opportunity for us to invest revenue and resources into an area that has a lot of promises, to redevelop that area and turn it into a vibrant business and tourist community. And that will also benefit the residents and the small businesses there. That was one of the projects that I envisioned. And as your county commissioner, I will continue to provide support to make that become a reality. Lastly, but also importantly, we have to identify small businesses that are on the verge of growth. You know, if they have 50 employees, 100 employees, and channel additional resources to help them grow even faster. In doing so, we will create good paying jobs for the communities in Precinct 2. So those are some of the things that I have done and I will continue to do as your county commissioner.
Just right there, Andy, right there. Timer just went off. Okay, thank you so much for being here today, Andy. We are incredibly appreciative. Again, Andy is running for Tarrant County Commissioner Precinct 2, and he will be the first name on the ballot. Thank you for being here, and I hope you have a wonderful day, Andy.
Thank you, Britton.
Okay, everyone, we are up to our last candidate now. So thank you for your patience. This has been a wonderful forum thus far. So next we have the second candidate that will appear on your ballot, and her name is Alyssa Simmons. So Alyssa, I'm going to get you promoted up to panelist, and she is our final candidate for the day. Good morning, Alyssa. Can you hear me?
I think I'm here. Good morning, Britton. How are you?
I'm doing well this Wednesday. I think it's Wednesday morning. Life is always
You
fun
and
to take month-old.
You and I are both sniffling a bit, so I can sympathize with you.
Well, thank you, Alyssa. So I'm going to set your timer for 3 minutes and you can kick us off with your opening statement.
Okay, I appreciate the opportunity to visit with Arlington Chamber this morning. I am Elisa Simmons, your Democratic candidate for Tarrant County Commissioner Precinct 2. The cities and towns served by the Precinct 2 Commissioner include Pantego, Dalworthington Gardens, the Tarrant County portion of Grand Prairie, Kennedale, Mansfield, and Arlington. So to answer the often asked question, why are you running and what in your past would make you a benefit to the residents? I'll start with a bit about my background. And I have served these cities that I mentioned and the county in two capacities, professionally and in a volunteer or in volunteer roles. I believe the role of government is to ensure that all people have opportunity and access to quality and accessible services and programs that will enhance the lives of their families. After earning a degree in journalism from Texas Women's University way back when, I worked as a journalist for a decade, after which I transitioned to public relations within the public safety sector and began an 18-year career in public safety communications management. And public safety communications is simply 911. I worked for the Tarrant County 911 district before starting my own hub certified small business in 2014. So right now I own a small promotional product signage and printing business. I served Tarrant County for 18 years as an administrator with the 911 district. In that role, I had fiduciary responsibility in the management of my portion of the 911 district's budget. And as a purchasing agent, my public safety career is a testament to my commitment to keep fellow citizens safe from threats to life and property. As your county commissioner, I will utilize my public safety experience in governing and oversight of the county. And you know it's campaign season, so I'm just going to throw this out there. No matter what you hear, I am not supportive of defunding the police or taking guns. So that is an aside, no matter what you hear. I am public safety. That has been my career. My knowledge and expertise position me as a national subject matter expert and the go-to person, resulting in FCC committee appointments, elections to boards of directors for state and national public safety communications, professional associations, and congressional awards. One last thing, additionally on that volunteer piece, I spent 10 years serving as president of the Arlington NAACP. And so my time is up, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Sorry, I caught it right there. But thank you for that opening statement. That was lovely. Now we are going to move into your questions. Let's shake our mug. What do we have? Okay, your order is 156243. So let's kick off with number 1 here. Precinct 2 represents all of Southeast Arlington in Tarrant County, or all of Southeast Tarrant County. Sorry, I added a word in there. Coming in as Precinct 2 Commissioner of Tarrant County, what is your number 1 priority?
Well, I have several urgent priorities that all rank number 1. Among those are continuing to make Tarrant County government transparent and accessible to the residents of Precinct 2, increasing access to JPS Health Network services for the residents of Precinct 2, and efficient management of Tarrant County government at the lowest possible property tax rate.
That was a quick answer. Okay, so thank you. We're going to power through these questions, Alyssa. Okay, so moving to question number 5. Your question is, Tarrant County has a higher population than 12 US states with more than 2 million residents. Give us some insight into your leadership style and how you plan on representing the interest of Precinct 2 in the Commissioner's Court.
Sure. I will be an aggressive advocate for the residents of Precinct 2. My leadership style is collaborative. It always has been. That is the only way, I think, to get things accomplished. You can't be one-sided. You cannot, just have a position and stick to it and not consider all voices related to an issue. I also have an expectation that organizational leaders like Michael Jacobson, for example, will inform me. Nobody knows everything. Let's all be very clear. I don't care how smart you think you are or how old you are. And so, like I tell all organizations that I speak to, I'm counting on them to inform me on issues that are important to them. So I have a collaborative leadership style that has been demonstrated, for example, in economic development in the city of Arlington. I worked alongside Texas Rangers leadership, Mayor Jeff Williams, and the developer, the Cordish companies, to ensure that the 20% MWBE goal for Texas Live was exceeded. And because of my work and tenacity, that project was completed with 42.42% MWBE participation going to minority and women-owned firms. In addition, I fought for local business to get work on that Texas Live project. There's no reason in the world that that facility needed to have been built by contractors from out of state or out of our region. So that is some of the collaborative work I have done, and that is the only way you're successful.
Well, thank you so much for that answer. We are moving now to your next question, which is question 6. Is a priority of the chamber to ensure local businesses and organizations can connect with those that represent them? If elected Precinct 2 Commissioner, how will you engage with chamber members and organizations that lead the change in this community?
Well, number one, I will be accessible both in the community and at chamber functions. That is the hallmark of my leadership. I have served on boards and commissions, the list of which is as long as my arm. And accessibility is primary because, like I said earlier, no one knows everything. And if you're not listening to your constituents, who are you listening to? So I will be accessible both in the community and at chamber functions. For example, I will reach out to the chamber when I become aware of developing economic opportunities that Precinct 2 businesses may want to involve themselves in. The current court worked to be supportive of businesses during the pandemic, and I would work to do the same. And that requires a good relationship and partnership with chambers of commerce, hearing from their leadership, but more importantly, hearing from their members to proactively anticipate challenges and working together on solutions.
A great way to end your answer, because it goes straight into your next question, which is number 2 on our list here. So number 2, Tarrant County has focused millions of dollars on small businesses specifically to help recover from the impact of the pandemic. In your opinion, how important is it to cultivate the success of small businesses in the greater Arlington area? And if elected commissioner, how will you focus resources on this effort?
Small businesses are the backbone of our economy. They are a group, as a group are the largest employers in our economy and therefore are critically important. As an entrepreneur, I understand that businesses faced difficulties immediately during the pandemic. The effects were swift and hard hitting. I do not have to imagine what business was up against because I faced those difficulties firsthand. I had to let go of 3 employees. Business just stopped because my clients, corporations, and governments were not purchasing company shirts and promotional products. And the troubles we still face, I understand the need to be proactive and mitigate what businesses large and small endured. And before the pandemic, it's difficult as a small business owner with a small staff. Opportunity to do business with governmental and private businesses can be challenging. If I'm going to bid on a project and the bid package is 78 pages, that's a problem because I already have clients and work to do. So as commissioner, I will look at Tarrant County's purchasing policy to ensure that opportunities to do business with Tarrant County are available to small businesses, and that those businesses that need handholding, those startups, receive that support from the county.
Well, thank you so much for that answer. We are moving now to question number 4, and you have a minute and a half. So we'll see if we get to question 3.
Okay.
The Tarrant County and specifically Arlington are home to hundreds of distribution centers for national brands. The DFW Arlington Metro is also one of the largest logistics hubs in the country. As commissioner, how will you ensure the roads and bridges maintained by the county are in the best condition to continue our dominant success as logistics hubs, as well as for our more than 2 million residents?
As commissioner, of course, I'll hold a dual appointment. First, I'll be a member of Commissioners Court, and secondly, by statute, I'll be an ex officio road commissioner for Precinct 2, which gives us responsibility for the maintenance of county roads and bridges in Precinct 2. And I will continually monitor the quality of the roads and bridges under my care with an eye toward maintaining those facilities at the highest standard. The success of distribution centers and logistic hubs is not entirely dependent, though, upon roads and bridges. Increasingly, they are dependent on our level of, for example, broadband services. And I'll push to make sure all neighborhoods in Precinct 2, including those companies, have broadband accessibility at an affordable cost. More stuff happens over the internet than it does on roads and bridges.
That is a very fair point. So thank you for bringing that to everyone's attention. And we have just 7 seconds. So we are going to not go ahead with question 3, but we do very much appreciate your time. So thank you again for joining us, everyone. This is Alyssa Simmons. She will appear second on your ballot when you vote in November, or if you vote early, opening October 24th, for Tarrant County Commissioner Precinct 2. So thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you.
And everyone, that is our forum. Thank you so much for coming today. We truly appreciate it. Again, as soon as we get this uploaded to YouTube, we will share it with each of you so you can pass it along. We appreciate you being a determined advocate for Tarrant County and making sure that you are informed on who your candidates are as they lead Tarrant County. Again, to hit, it is the 3rd most populous county in Texas. We have a higher population than 12 US states. Tarrant County is a leader in Texas and the United States. So thank you for being here. Thank you for being informed. Thank you for joining us here at the Greater Arlington Chamber of Commerce. And remember, together we succeed. Have a great rest of your day.